seen it.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt on the radio, on Facebook, on YouTube. Please go to YouTube and search for Talk Law Radio. Find our channel there and click subscribe. And then you'll be able to watch these episodes in 10-minute chunks. We do segment those shows by subject, and so you can go for a run or a walk. I wouldn't run. I do walk the dog, and sometimes I listen to podcasts then. Or you can listen while you're doing dinner or after dinner when you're having your dessert.
You have a very lovely, soothing voice. You could listen while you're going to sleep and just drift right off.
That's right. Yeah, I have that effect on people. So
I like your voice.
Shannon
nice.
Roberta San Antonio is here with me to talk about the law, and the hidden legal issue blind spot today is citizenship, what makes us a citizen. And to get there, we're going to be talking about President Trump's executive orders. Love him or hate him, you need to know what the law is because it might impact you without you knowing it. Besides the citizenship.
Isn't that interesting that you either love him or you hate him? You know, there's really not a lot of middle ground with this guy.
Yeah, well,
he's like Jesus.
That's
you
true.
either not like Jesus in I know Mark is laughing. That was so random. But in the sense that you either love him or hate
He's
him.
He's a polarizing person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good save.
Yeah. Well, I think that life nowadays is more polarizing.
Yeah.
You could take any subject.
Thank you.
Like Coke and Pepsi.
Right. Vanilla ice cream.
And whoever likes Coke is going to unfriend you for liking Pepsi.
Right. I hate you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So which of the executive orders hits a nerve with you? Besides the citizenship one?
I've been somewhat trying to protect my mental health by not watching everything on the news, every single thing that comes out, so there might be something that's more important and I missed it, but for me the birthright citizenship was what really stood out. If he renames the Gulf of Mexico, okay.
Right.
Everyone's going to have to rewrite the maps, but to our core, where it strikes us, where it hurts, our constitutional rights, the birthright citizenship, I felt that one.
I value the Constitution. But there's some other things that I've been hearing about a lot in the news.
Yeah, tell me.
And one of them is the pardons to the January 6th people that peacefully protested at the Capitol.
That was an interesting, I watched that as well. But you knew that he would do that. I mean, he was pretty clear that that's what he was going to do.
Right.
And if you were one of those people, you'd be pretty happy have
definitely.
that pardon come down. Did you see the lady that refused the pardon?
Oh, no.
Yeah, there was one woman that said, no, I was wrong for what I did, and I don't want a pardon, and she refused it. And then some people, if you lean a certain way politically, they were applauding that bravery.
I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah. Well, she was out. I mean, she wasn't.
She's like, I'm going to stay in jail.
No, she wasn't detained anymore. It just wouldn't come off of her record. Does that make sense?
Well, the order is issued.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, there was a news story about it. I've been trying to not consume news as much as I usually would have.
I just want to see what's going to happen. Plus, I think people need to know. So I will endure the torturous act of listening to the news.
Good for you.
For the good of my listeners.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should listen to everything.
Well, I do think that you have to listen. You have to have your limits and boundaries because what we consume, does affect our bodies or our mind.
It does. Me, it really does, yeah. I just can't be hanging on his every tweet like I did the first administration.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for me.
There's so much media. I have a hard time trying to balance my time.
I don't know how
Twitter,
you do all
YouTube,
you do.
Facebook. I don't know where to put my time. Instagram.
Not to mention you're running a very successful, I mean, how many employees do you have?
Well, I do have lots of people that rely on me.
You could do just that, and that would be
I could.
40, a lot more than 40 hours a week.
I have a lot more fun talking to you about the law on the radio.
I always have fun, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my reprieve.
Yeah.
But yes, the law office, that's part of my mission, is to help people make legally enforceable plans for what happens to their stuff when they become deceased.
Right, right.
Well,
Valid
more
mission.
so, I want them to know that you can, my encouraging word is that you can make your legacy.
Yeah.
What you want to do for other people, just go out there and start doing it. However you want people to remember you.
Oh, I love it.
Somebody's going to have all your recipes.
Yeah.
I hope your parents are okay with that.
Yeah.
Your family recipes are now out there.
Right.
Not a secret anymore.
Right.
And they're also going to know everything that you wore. No, here's a fun fact about my sister. She probably doesn't listen to every show, so she won't be mad because she won't know. But she could remember what she did on a certain day by what she wore.
Oh, cool.
She was into fashion.
Yeah.
And so she would think back, well, I was wearing this top and this skirt.
Right.
So this is what I did that day.
Right.
So isn't that a strange way to have a memory?
Well, I can relate though.
Okay.
Maybe it's a woman thing.
Maybe it is.
I can remember what Aaron was wearing when I first saw him. I doubt he does though.
Yeah,
You know?
right. That's so interesting. Well, let's get back to executive orders.
Thank you for that swerve though. That was fun.
Yeah.
Back to reality.
So there was the pardons. How about the federal workforce? Trump signed a freeze on all federal hiring except the military and a number of other excluded categories, and required federal workers to return to the office.
Right. Yeah, I saw a headline. It's amazing how much news gets through with me trying to avoid news.
Well, the news cycle is very short, so I wish I could have been on the radio that day or the next day.
Right.
Because since then, he's had so many more executive orders that are more polarizing and more controversial than this one. But I liked this one because I like to go to the office.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a work from home person.
Right. I sense that about you, yeah.
But here's a tangent. I was supposed to talk about this in the first segment.
Uh-huh.
What did you do on Tuesday when it was freezing, when it was 20 degrees? How did your routine with you and your kids and your family change? Do you want to tell the listeners what that was like for you?
We just hunkered down, and it was just us at home and all the pets. And
Mm-hmm. And so did you work from home? Did you do any work?
I don't recall doing any work, but I completely could have access. You know, we didn't lose power, so I had internet.
Yeah.
Anything I could have done at the office, I could have done at home. It was lovely. We cooked, you know, we laughed, we played games together.
Oh, really?
We watched movies. It was really, really, really a nice day.
Yeah. I was supposed to watch a movie. Caitlin came downstairs. You know, it's like she's a celebrity in our house. When we see her, we get all excited.
Yes.
Hi, Caitlin.
Right.
Can I get your autograph?
Right, yeah.
and so she found a movie that she wanted to watch. It was Patriot Day, which is the movie about the Boston bombing.
Yeah.
And I sat down, and then I don't know if I got a text or an email or an alert that get up and go do this Zoom meeting. I had meetings.
Oh my gosh.
And so I had to go upstairs.
And you had to miss a movie with your daughter.
I had a meeting. I had a phone call. I had to draft these documents.
But wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So
what a missed opportunity.
Well, that's why I like to go to the office, is because I got confused. Am I at home or am I at work? My family's here, so I must be at home. But no, I have these other responsibilities. So thank goodness we have a place where I can go upstairs where nobody hears the dog barking.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what my freeze day was like. But we did prepare because of what happened years ago.
Yeah, it was bad.
City of San Antonio froze.
I was thinking about you because you're the kind of guy that prepares.
Yeah, so in advance, Chris knew that to get stock up on toilet paper, paper towels, and water, because if there's a catastrophe in San Antonio, those are the first things to go.
Yeah.
And what else did we do? Oh, she bought canned goods and dog food.
Yeah.
Because, hey, if you run out of food, what's left?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good you're prepared. We had this conversation back then in the big apocalypse.
Yeah, well, just by happenstance, we had bought all that stuff prior to the freeze, and so we were okay. We did lose power, and
last time or this time?
The last time too. Just I have these, psychic thoughts that come to me that says, go buy toilet paper.
Right.
But we had no power and it was freezing. And so my dad reminded me of the meaning of that song, 3 Dog Night.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it gets so cold that you have to have 3 dogs in the bed to keep you warm.
Right.
And
they really do.
Yeah. So usually we don't let the dogs sleep with us, but that night we did.
Yeah. So you were toasty.
Yeah.
You don't have a fireplace.
No, but Chris really wants one. She wants one where you have to really burn the wood, not gas.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like a wood burning, like a stove, one of those little stoves.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And that you just need a little pipe to go out.
Right.
You're handy. Do you do that yourself, or you'd hire somebody?
No, I'm not handy. I don't like to put things together. We bought something from IKEA one time, and it was like a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, you can't be everything.
Right. So let's talk about another one that is going to be quite polarizing. And if somebody wants to call in and tell us what your opinion is, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Call 210. What's the number? 308-8867. 210-308-8867. Tell us what you think about the executive order ending the weaponization of the federal government. I figured that one would be controversial enough that somebody might call in.
Oh my gosh.
And tell us how they feel.
Can I have the number one more time? Sorry.
210-308-8867.
Thank you.
So I don't know exactly what that one says, but I'm sure that it makes people upset.
To go back physically to
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's an opinion, weaponization of the federal government.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would have to be something directed at the Justice Department.
Yeah.
To focus on something else.
But it doesn't literally say that. You're adding that.
Well, this is what AI gave me, a summary of the executive orders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to spin this any which way, but artificial intelligence did.
Okay.
So I don't know what the executive order actually is, but we got to take a break.
Oh, I just had a...
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the Ten Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.